What's up, YouTube? It's Kenny again. I am back. Spent a couple of days with my son for his birthday. I actually recorded a video and forgot to post it during that time. But yeah, I'm in Texarkana, back on the road, headed toward Ohio to get back in the cut for the dedicated. Before we get started, just want to say I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a truck driver driving across the country, researching and trading stocks, and I will not be held responsible for any moves you make in the stock market. Not ever. I'm not your mama. Hit that subscribe button for me, guys. Mash on it. Like the video, and let me know how your week's been going in the stock market. Or let me know your thoughts on whatever I might say in this video. So guys, looking at the market this morning, obviously yesterday, everything just crashed in the morning and then started kind of trying to work its way back up throughout the day. Actually kind of recovered pretty nicely throughout the day yesterday. And looking at the market today, guys, things look much more normal than they have in weeks to me. Like, it seems like every day either everything's way down or everything's trying to recover. But today, I'm seeing red and green in the watch list. So when I'm looking at things, instead of just everything being red except for a couple things, or everything being green except for a couple things, we've got something that looks a lot more normal. And that's encouraging to me. I kind of feel like that crash yesterday morning on the open may have been the bottom. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have a crystal ball, but I kind of feel like yesterday was the market finding the bottom. We're just going to have to see. I think that a lot of what's happening right now is really irrational. Like, it's just fear and uncertainty, and it's kind of irrational when you look at where the bond yields actually are in comparison to other times that they've affected the market. And I just think that it's kind of irrational what's taking place right now. And like I say, I feel like we may have kind of found the bottom yesterday. That's not to say that it's still not going to be volatile for the next week or three, but I kind of feel like we might have found the bottom yesterday. So we'll see. Now, something I want to talk about that I keep forgetting to include in these videos, on the last several videos where I talked about stuff I was buying and talked about Lordstown Motors and stuff, I keep forgetting to say that I got back into Hyliion, and I don't know why I keep forgetting it. Okay, and I made a whole video about it and on my way back to Texas, and I was going to post it over the time I was with my son, but I forgot to. So I did buy back into Hyliion, okay, and then this morning I averaged down in it and brought it up to, in the long-term account, I brought my position up to 50 shares, which I know doesn't seem like a lot, but like I've said lots of times, that long-term account is really small. It's a regular cash account. And I had the money to go ahead and add some more into it this morning. And I averaged down in Hyliion. It brings me up to 50 shares at a cost basis of $12.44 a share, guys. Like, I feel really good about that price. Even though, I'm down some in it. Like, I feel really good about Hyliion at $12.44. And, I know a lot of you subscribers found me through Hyliion videos that I made, and you guys are probably in it at a substantially higher price. When I sold all that stuff to free up cash, Hyliion was one of the things that had to go. I was in it at like 16 something. I got out of it for a really small loss. I think I was down like 4 or 5% when I got out of it. But now, yeah, I had bought some. I had bought 30 shares, and I bought another 20 this morning, and it got my cost basis down really nicely, guys. $12.44 is a price that I'm really happy with. I also averaged down a little bit in Lordstown Motors in the cash account. Got it to roughly around the same price where I have it in the Roth. So I've got 50 shares of Ride in the long-term account now at like $13.82, I think it is, a share. And I'm really happy about that price, guys. And I'm kind of enjoying seeing people talk smack about Lordstown on the videos, and so don't feel bad. You're in there bad talking it, and maybe I come back at you. Don't feel bad about it. You ain't got to leave or nothing like that. Everybody is welcome to have different opinions than I have. As long as you're not calling me names and stuff like that, we good. I don't have any problem with that. I'm not a sensitive person, and so I'm happy to have a back and forth with people. It's just when things start getting personal and you're being a douchebag, then it pisses me off. You know what I mean? But as long as we're like just different our opinions, that's good. I'm good with that. Hit that subscribe button. So yeah, and then OEG, 50 shares of that also in the long-term account at $5.80 a share. I'm just, guys, I'm really happy with the prices that I'm at on everything, and I feel confident like holding it and waiting for the market to start to bounce back. I think I'm in a really good position right now. I set a buy for a penny stock, okay? Penny stock is GGTTF. I set a buy for 200 shares of it because I had a little bit of cash still in the Roth, and I really like this penny stock. I feel like it could go on a run, so you might take a look at it. I didn't go real heavy into it or anything, just like $140 or something. We'll see if it triggers or not. But yeah, so I feel really good about where I'm at in the account right now. The cash account, the long-term account is down just a little bit, like $50. The Roth is still up, even though a lot of stuff's down. I'm still up, close to 2,000 or whatever. I'm still up. So feeling pretty good about it. I also was going to make a video message to Thomas Healy and Hyliion, and I may still do that. I believe in Hyliion, you know what I mean? Like, the more research I do about it, the more I like it, all right? And I re-listened to the investor call last week, just to refresh my memory on what they talked about and stuff, and I'm just really encouraged by the stuff that I hear. I like that they have reconfigured the battery, the last real news that came out about the battery, because that was the one thing that kind of concerned me about the ERX system, is that it's just charging that little battery too many times a day. It's like a 35-mile battery. It might have been 30. I think it was 35. And so you're charging that battery a bunch of times throughout the day. And you know how cell phone batteries and just, lithium-ion type batteries, they wear out after you charge them a bunch of times. So one of the things I was concerned about was that charging that battery so many times a day might really shorten the lifespan of the battery itself. And the new battery news that they had come out with talked about how it's extending the battery life. So I'm hoping that, that's encouraging to me. That was like the one thing that kind of, concerned me about the system. Now, also another thing I like that they're doing is, that first ERX, the one that we've all seen pictures and videos of and stuff like that, is in a Freightliner. Okay, but in the investor call, they talked about how they're working with Peterbilt, and these demo models, or whatever you want to call them, that they're going to be distributing later this year are going to be on Peterbilts. And guys, let's see my pre-pass here. Peterbilt is one of the most popular trucks. I drive a Kenworth. I'm a Kenworth guy. But Peterbilts and Kenworths are like the two more popular trucks. Freightliners, which it was on a Freightliner, the one that we've all seen, is a really, it's not a popular truck, but it is the most widely used truck because it's cheaper, and and the parts are always readily available because there's so many of them on the road. It's kind of what a lot of us truck drivers look at as kind of a throwaway truck, you know what I mean? As soon as you drive a Freightliner off the lot, the value just plummets, Same thing with Internationals, except for Internationals like the worst. And then Volvos are kind of maybe a little bit better than Freightliners, probably in that same category. But when you talk about Kenworths and Peterbilts, these are trucks that hold their value a lot better because they're just more popular. They're better trucks, in my opinion. And so to see Hyliion working with Peterbilt and putting these ERXs that they're about to put out in Peterbilts instead of in those Freightliners, I like that a lot, guys. I think that's a really good move that they're going with Peterbilt. Kind of wish they would have gone with Kenworth, but whatever. I'm sure they're going to be working with multiple manufacturers at some point, but it's just really good to see them putting it on a Peterbilt. Those trucks are slated to be starting to be delivered to their people that they've got agreements with or whatever for them to test out and use later this year, and then they're looking going into more of a commercialization and production more in the beginning of 2022. So Hyliion, guys, it's the only one that's going to be having it's going to have a solution for long haul, over the road, regional type truckers like me. Just nobody else is going to compete. Another thing I like that they talked about in that investor call was the fact that they're hoping as technology moves forward that they talked a lot about transitioning to hydrogen when that becomes a viable fuel source, and how all they really have to do is just switch out the fuel storage and put a different generator on it that runs on hydrogen. Well, one of the things they talked about is that as technology moves forward, their ultimate hope and goal is to be able to put a single generator in the system that will run on CNG, RNG, or hydrogen. So they don't, at that point, they wouldn't even have to switch anything out except maybe the fuel storage. I'm not exactly sure how that translates between the two different fuels. But I like that as well, how they're really focusing on when hydrogen becomes cheap enough and available enough, they're really focused on the fact that they will easily be able to switch over to hydrogen, when it becomes feasible. Like, hydrogen's 5 to 10 years out, guys. Like, it's expensive to make, it's dirty to make in most cases. It is way expensive, way more expensive to run a truck on that than on diesel. And that's just, it's a pitfall that's not going to be able to be overcome until it's cheaper and more widely available. Not to mention, there's no place to put it in a truck. So, that's years and years down the road for hydrogen. But when it does come, Hyliion will be ready to adopt it immediately. So, yeah, I'm still big on Hyliion, guys. I just wanted to make a video and talk about that now that I'm back. I may put this message out for Thomas Healy soon, maybe later today or tomorrow, so look out for that. And thanks for watching, guys. Hit that subscribe button, like the video, let me know what you think in the comments below. And again, thank you for watching, guys. Thanks for your support.